What's going on here then? Stay tuned and all will be revealed. Well, good afternoon everyone and welcome back to Piccadilly. Now you might be thinking what a scene of confusion in front of you, but it's now time to start thinking about this section here and New Mills Mill. So I'll show you what I've got already, and obviously it won't look like this in the end. This is the original board that I had here with the tracks going off towards New Mills, and so that will be cut about 15mm from the track and into there. And obviously we've got the twin tunnels back again, and I probably will use those, to be honest. I was quite happy with the way that turned out in the first place, and the track's already in there, so I'll probably use that again. This was the tunnel that was originally here, but I've put it there to give you, well, one, to prop that up and two, to give you the idea of the fact that this area here is going to be covered. So this will obviously have a sheer drop coming down here, and then there'll be a big bank sort of running over here and then sort of down the side, and that will be a bit of a lift out section. Now, showing you from the area I've got. Now, this here is the part of the railway station, and that's that bit. Okay, so you can see, although the angle of the road is slightly different from what I've got there, but you can genuinely get the idea of where we are there. So as you come along here, you can see then this is the mill that I'm proposing to build, or maybe a version of it. It might not be a scale version of it. I don't think I've got the space for it all, so it might be a cut down version, but nevertheless a version of the mill it will be, in the same way that this here, the viaduct, is probably around about a third of its actual length, if not slightly less than that. But you know, it's all to do with proportions and giving the impression, and I think as long as the idea is there, people will get the idea of what I'm on about. So you can see then you've got this drop running around here, which will come down at this point, and it sort of curves around. Oh, excuse me. And it sort of curves around like that, and then will disappear around that bit as if it's going underneath there, but obviously it won't. And you've got the river running, the River Goit running around there, and there's the weir. So the weir will be around about here, this area, and so the river will be, well, probably about there, to be honest, and then just sort of come around as an upper level, by the way. It won't be, the scale might not be quite right here. That drop isn't probably quite enough, but, you know, I'll make it work somehow, even if the river is only a centimetre. It gives the impression that the river is there, and that's all that I can do, to be honest with you. And that way we can work it from that. But yeah, that's where we're going, and I hope that gives you some indication and clue of what I'm proposing. There are pictures on Google Maps, and apparently now, if you, well, Google Earth even, apparently now there is a walkway. So one of the cameras that you can take up there, and you can have a look back at the mill and all the different images from all the way around, and some going up that way as well, plus photos I've got. And in Apple Maps, which I can't show you, there is a 3D render as well. So that, with the combination of this, the pictures I've got from YouTube channels, it should be reasonably easy to do. Although the build does actually seem quite complicated, but, you know, one step at a time. This is going to take a while, I'm afraid. It's not going to be done in the first 10 minutes, and I certainly won't have it done by the end of this video. But anyway, let's make a start. Right, it's about 10 o'clock on Friday. I've just lost track of time, just kept going. So this is a skeleton frame now. This has been, I've put a block in there, and I've glued that to this piece. So that's a separate lift out section. Yes, I know the tracks are all over the place. I'm not worried about that now. But I then built this skeleton structure, which then allows me to lift it in, lift it out. The river It's going to have to be a small affair, I'm afraid, going round the back, but putting it on a base allows me to build the land up, and I haven't got to worry about gluing anything to the wooden board. So again, I can just lift it out if as and when I need to. Because you can imagine there's somebody's law that says if there's something going to happen, it will happen in there when all this is down. So I've got to be able to lift it out and quickly as well. So that's the general idea. As you can see, it's 2mm board just hot glued together. I find the hot glue it's very good for quick jointing and very basic mock-ups so far. You'll also notice I've put the tunnel portal in. I was thinking about it after I said I wouldn't do that. So I think it's probably going to be for the best, and then I can build that, connect that to that, which I think would probably be a better move. And then this whole piece here be a completely separate section. As I said, this will be a big hill. I need to look at the image, and then this will be smothered with trees. All this will be slightly banked down here and then bank into there. I might remove this portion here. I don't know yet. It is still quite early days. You can still see the outline of the track. I was thinking about having it going across there, and then I thought, well, it's a river. River won't be up here, it'll be down here. So unfortunately, I am restricted to the angle and the shape that the tracks have made. As you can see from in there, yes, I'm not right on them. I don't want them to, I want the trains to have space. So the river will come around here and then sort of track back probably into that bit there. That seems a natural area there. As I said, this will be banked here, and there's a slight bank coming this way here, and the mill, whatever space is left for it, probably be quite a tiny affair after all of this, will be in the middle here. It is quite a big building, and I'll try and do it as best justice as I can, but obviously I have to work with the space I've got, so we'll see what I can do. Right, and I'll catch you shortly. Right, well, that's a bit of a transformation, isn't it? So you can see now I've done my usual thing of covering the landforms with masking tape. And so you can now get an idea of how this is going to sort of blend in. And this is the start of the, I don't quite know what you call it really. It's a slope that comes down from here and goes down there. What you call it, I've no idea. Wall, a sloping wall, I don't know. Anyway, so what I've got to do now is build up the centre part, because obviously the river runs around here and will disappear into there. I will build this out a bit more, and I can't make this any deeper because the tracks are not far behind there and I don't want to foul the trains. So I will probably build this out just a tiny bit more, and obviously around here a little bit more, so that height, that whole exit, if you like, is hidden as if it's going that way, but obviously, you know, it won't be. That's part of the scene. And then obviously there will be trees all over here. So I'm hoping that we can sort of hide, that it just disappears. And there'll be trees, like I said. I might even put like a roofy bit over the top just to support some more trees and give the impression that it does actually disappear. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Think about that. But anyway, the other part of it as well, I'm just going to start, like I said, building this up. And the way I'm going to do that is take some A3 paper, crunch it up as I have done before, and stick it down. And then press it down to where I want it, and then put tape over the top. I probably will put a flat surface on top of that, maybe another bit of this board on top of that, then tape it down, purely because I've got to put the mill on the top, and it would be better really if there was a flat surface to do it. But if I take you back, you can start to see how that might fill out. I'm thinking actually this does need to be a bit bigger. and maybe even a bit taller as well. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. Right, so the next instalment then. It is a little bit difficult to see because obviously it's all sort of creamy whitey colour, but hopefully you can make out what's going on here. So I've now put this slightly raised section in, ready for the mill itself, and there will be a road about here. I'll explain a bit more of that in a minute. But obviously you can see now going around the outside, there is space now for the River Goit. And this bit here represents a slightly upper level of the water, and there's a weir. Now, I have just realised the weir is slightly curved, so I will adjust that before I start doing anything with it. That won't be difficult. But here, well, on this section here, obviously you've got the mill there, and there are some other buildings here. Now, if I put those in, that means the mill is only going to be that big. And it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So what I chose to do is put the road in here and keep it quite narrow. So it's literally just a single lane track like that. And then grass will just come down to meet this point here. I think grass and trees. And then I can have the maximum amount of size for the mill, as much of it as I possibly can. There are about 3 or 4 different buildings. So again, I'll do what I can with it, and hopefully it will make the representation of what is necessary. So we'll just see. Anyway, next stage on this now is to get it papier-mâchéed. And yeah, I'll show you that when I've done it. Right, so there we go. That's about as much as I can get done for this video. So obviously, as you've seen from the thumbnail, it's all been papier-mâchéed. But for the reveal, I thought I'd take it a step further, and it's all been painted too, or base painted anyway. And that's been done with a variety of colours. So you can see even the grey concrete there is not one grey, it's loads of greys. There's blacks, there's whites, there's even a bit of yellow in there from places, and creamy colours and all sorts, just mixed in and just mushed together really. And again, along that wall, I need to check whether that's right or not, but and then this again is just literally loads of browns and greens, a little bit of black, yellows, all sorts of stuff just mushed in there, and all down here too. So hopefully that gives the impression of what the whole thing is going to start to look like. This will be reworked. Obviously this board will be reworked, and this humongous gap down the side here, there needs to be a bit going in here to finish this section off. Loads of work to do on it yet. But the other part of it as well, as you can see clearly now where the River Goit will go, and will just end up kind of in there, and it just sort of disappears into the distance. You'll have to use your imagination what goes on with it past that point. This will be smothered in trees, so you may even not think about it. I don't know, but that's the way it's going to be. I'm not going to worry about it. That there is a different zone to this area here, and this viaduct, it acts as a bit like a scenic break along with the trees that are going to go down here. So again, I'm not going to worry about it. It's a totally different area, miles and miles apart. That's the point of the layout. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with the way that's come on. I didn't think at one point I'd get anywhere near this far. It was looking touch and go, to be honest with all the problems I'd had with the double O gauge layout, but that's the way it is. Anyway, I'll catch you soon for the next bit, and you just take care, have a good week, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.